so proud of the race we ran and the way we ran it.
Coming up the day after, Vice President Kamala Harris concedes in a speech to supporters just hours after Donald Trump was projected as the winner of the presidential election.
Clear skies and chilly numbers out there. We're going to gradually warm things up over the next number of days, show you all the numbers coming up in big weather.
This is News 4 at 5.
Good Wednesday evening, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Shelby Sheehan.
And I'm Joe Hart. We have a fresh batch of results coming in tonight in Washoe County as ballots are being counted still. Now, those new results are being processed right now, and we will have them for you soon.
Let's jump right into our Decision 2024 coverage. The numbers we have right now. New tonight, Congressman Mark Amodei releasing a statement after securing re-election last night. Amodei says he looks forward to working with the Trump administration to, quote, tackle the issues facing the Silver State and make real progress to improve the lives of all Americans. He also said, quote, I'm humbled to have once again gained the support of every county in our district. Now it's time to move the ball down the field and work to get this country back on track.
Meantime, all eyes are on Nevada as ballots continue to be counted, as we mentioned, including here in Washoe County. And we are waiting for a fresh batch of results to be processed. They should be coming in hopefully any minute now. News 4's Anthony Ramos is live at the Washoe County Complex with an update on how the count is going the day after Election Day. That process continues. Anthony?
Yeah, Joe, staff are continuing to work long hours to get ballots processed and counted here in the county. And the good news is that things are running smoothly without any hiccups. That's according to the Deputy Registrar of Voters. Now, on Election Day Tuesday, 1,100 ballots were received in the mail from all 55 voting centers, along with ballots from the USPS. Now, those ballots checked into the system around 2:30 this morning. 8,700 ballots were received from election drop-off boxes yesterday, and those being counted today as well. Now, to break down the voting percentages, the county says we've seen 62% voter turnout and 24% by mail, 11% in person, and another 27% done through early voting. Deputy Registrar of Voters Andrew McDonald says the process is being made with tens of thousands of new ballots that still need to be counted as of today.
We still have roughly 45,000 ballots to be processed. Again, some of those need a sig mismatch. We may not run all 45,000 ballots in because of those, but the majority will be getting into the count. Today, we believe we will be posting a roughly 15,000 or north of 15,000 into the count of validly cast ballots, mail ballots.
Now, coming up tonight at 6, we'll have more on the ballot curing process and what you need to be on the lookout for in the event that your ballot does need to be cured. Live at the Washoe County Complex, Anthony Ramos, News 4. Let's send it back to you.
All right, the process continues at this hour. Thanks, Anthony.
The Nevada Senate race is still too close to call at this time. It's neck and neck with Republican Senate candidate Sam Brown leading incumbent Democratic Senator Jackie Rosen by less than 2,000 votes. Both candidates gave a speech to their supporters last night in Las Vegas.
Our border deserves to be secure as Jackie Rosen's neighborhood.
I am confident because of all of you, because of all the work you've done, because of all the heart you've put into it.
Republicans already have a Senate majority, but this race is one of a few close contests that could determine how big the majority will be.
After a historic election and decisive victory, former President Donald Trump is now the president-elect, and Americans are reacting to the news and bracing for a new chapter as he prepares for a second term in office. News 4's Andrea Esparza joined us live at the live desk with details on what Trump has outlined already as his first actions when he does take office. Andrea?
Joan Shelby, Vice President Kamala Harris in her concession acknowledged the victory of Donald Trump, who has now become the 47th president of the United States. She assured supporters that she and President Biden would facilitate a peaceful transfer of power. Meanwhile, Donald Trump reiterated his commitment to addressing key challenges such as the economy and inflation during his upcoming administration.
Every single day I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve.
Well, Jason Miller, Donald Trump's senior advisor, said that the president-elect's first order of business after he takes office will be an executive action to get back to drilling and reinstate Trump-era border policies. Well, Donald Trump got more votes than he did in the last election across nearly all counties, reporting higher overall turnout so far. By contrast, Harris trailed President Joe Biden's 2020 margins in a significant majority of those counties, and overall turnout numbers will continue to tick upward over the remaining weeks as additional ballots are reported. But those disparities in the current results are clear and suggesting a strong performance from the GOP's base and lower turnouts from the Democrats. Well, not only did the GOP secure the White House, but Republicans also gained control of the Senate, a significant victory that strengthens President-elect Donald Trump's ability to advance his agenda, confirm his cabinet picks, and appoint lifetime federal judges, including any vacancies in the U.S. Supreme Court. At the live desk, I'm Andrea Esparza. Back to you, Joe and Shelby.
All right, thanks, Andrea. Well, here's a closer look at how the presidential race is shaking out here in the Silver State. The Associated Press also still hasn't actually called the race. President-elect Trump leads Harris 52 to 47%. Arizona is the only other state that has not yet been called. Well, President-elect Donald Trump last night did something a Republican presidential candidate hasn't done in 2 decades, turn Nevada red. So how did we get here? From a neck-and-neck race in the polls to a decisive victory called on election night. Ben Marjat took that question to the experts.
The last Republican presidential candidate to win the Silver State, George W. Bush in 2004. Then 4 straight Democrats winning our 6 electoral votes until Trump on Tuesday.
This is a magnificent victory for the American people.
So how did it happen?
What happened was, in my view, a fundamental reshaping of the party coalitions.
Matthew Klein is with one of the best election forecasters in the business, the Cook Political Report. He says national trends played out in Nevada, like Trump making significant inroads with Latino voters, a major segment of the Nevada electorate.
This is the first time in history, really, that we've seen Democrats do this poorly with Latinos. It looks like Harris will win them by somewhere in the range of single digits, which is considerably down.
Plus gains with men and younger voters, all leading to this staggering graphic showing which way counties moved relative to 2020, the overwhelming majority shifting to the right. Harris didn't do as well with college-educated white women in the suburbs, for example, to counteract those losses with other groups. And in Nevada, the result has some wondering if the famous Reid machine is as strong as it used to be.
Is that really still functioning? Can the Culinary Workers Union really be relied on at this point? I don't know. I think it certainly seems like they, were not quite the force that they were in 2020 and 2022.
In Reno, Ben Marjat reporting.
And if you want to listen to that full conversation with Matthew Klein of the Cook Political Report, it's on the latest episode of Ballot Battleground Nevada. Now, that show is out now on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Just scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe and listen.
All right, just in, as we said, a new batch of numbers. Let's take a look at the latest results in the race for Washoe County Commission. District 1, Democratic incumbent Alexis Hill, 56%. Republican Marcia Burke-Bigler, a former member of the County Commission running again, comes in at 44%. So Hill on top in that race. Also, it's a close race for Washoe County School Board District G. Incumbent Diane Nicolette leading Perry Rosenstein in that race. Nicolette with 51% to 49% for Rosenstein, so that one very close.
And for Reno City Council Ward 6, Brandy Anderson with a significant lead over Tom Heck.
And the race for Ward 1, extremely close. Kathleen Taylor leading Frank Perez by just over 200 votes in this race. You can see 51 to 49%, but Kathleen Taylor and Frank Perez still locked in a close one there.
And in Ward 3, incumbent Miguel Martinez has a lead with 63% of the vote over Denise Meyer. And moving on to the Sparks City Council, incumbent Paul Anderson leading Brad Fitch in the race for Ward 3.
And Ward 5 on the Sparks City Council, Joe Rodriguez leading over the incumbent in that race, Christopher Dare. Rodriguez with 52% as these latest numbers have come in. Dare, the incumbent, with 48%.
And outside of Washoe County, taking a look at the race for Carson City Mayor now, incumbent Lori Bagwell has the lead with 56% of the vote over James Shirk. Well, seasonably chilly with a gradual warm up on the way. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Matt Monroe for the details on our forecast. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Shelby. Today was amazing. Blue skies, sunshine, but boy, it was chilly out there. 46 degrees was the high. We usually hit about 61 this time of the year. We'll get you back there by the upcoming weekend. Here's a live look GSR cam kind of shooting up to the north. And again, lots of taillights there. 580 headed northward home into the valleys. We're at 42 degrees. Carson's at 39, upper 30s in Truckee, 41 Fallon, 38 in Winnemucca. There's a little breeze mainly coming out of the east here at about 9 miles per hour. It makes 42 feel like 37 right here in town with the current wind chill. Tomorrow, back into the sunshine, a cold start at 28. By noon, we're back to 50, and 4 o'clock, that's a little better, back up to about 55 degrees. Show you the entire 10-day forecast coming up in big weather. Joe, Shelby?
All right, thanks, Matt. Well, fire restrictions have been lifted in Carson City. The decision to lift the restrictions is due to decreasing sunlight following the end of daylight savings time, increasing fuel moisture levels as well, and the cooler nights we're seeing. That's according to the Carson City Fire Department. They ask that residents do continue practicing fire safety measures throughout the season and year-round for that matter.
And you can now buy your firewood cutting permits in Carson City. The Bureau of Land Management announced today that permits are available in the Carson City district. You can use these permits to collect downed or dead juniper or pinyon pine in the district, or downed or dead Jeffrey pine in Alpine County. Now, personal use permits cost $10 per cord, and each person is allowed to purchase up to 10 cords annually. You can get yours at forestproducts.blm.gov.
Coming up on News 4 at 5, strong winds and dry conditions fueling wildfires across California. The latest on 3 fires that broke out today.
And what happens to President-elect Donald Trump's legal cases now that he's heading back to the White House? National correspondent Matt Gelka has that information just ahead.
All right, today unseasonably chilly. There is the sunset. There's the glow up and over the hills from Legends Bay Casino cam. We will gradually warm things up. Numbers and a very interesting chime-in picture coming up. You definitely don't want to miss that. It's a little controversial. Back in 2.